Hi, I'm Phil Anderson, and I'm running for United States Senate to represent Wisconsin. Last night, the GOP had a debate, and there were a number of participants on the stage, supposedly those of whom had polled high enough to be qualified to be on the stage, with one exception. Rand Paul is polling higher than at least three of the candidates that were allowed to be on the stage last night. Why was he not included in the debate? I'm not really sure. But he's also the one that has a certain viewpoint on foreign policy and on some domestic issues that is different than the rest of his candidates. He's not in favor of bigger government. He's not in favor of foreign interventions. In that case, his voice was really missed last night on the debate stage because he would have been the one that brought up the Fed. He would have been the one who stood up and said that we shouldn't be involved in the Middle East to the extent that we are. He is a dissenting voice within the Republican Party. And in that sense, he's very valuable to the discussion about issues. But this wasn't about discussion of issues. This was about trying to winnow through those candidates who've already been pre-approved by the Republican establishment. And in that sense, that's all we heard last night was just different variations of the same idea. That is, the government doesn't need to be shrunk. We need to be fighting overseas. We need to be interfering in the whole world. We need regulation of social behavior. All the things that Republicans do wrong is what we heard last night. Rand Paul, who at least in some respects dissents from those, was not heard. However, there is a ray of hope for Rand Paul. And that is that his event, his live event, drew more viewers than the actual debate did. The debate was down by about 20% on viewership. Rand Paul did very, very well. But even given that ray of hope for Rand Paul, should he be able to do well in Iowa and New Hampshire and somehow revive his campaign, it still looks pretty bleak for anybody who believes in liberty issues who's still within the Republican Party. And I'm speaking to all of you out there who, many of whom are my friends and followers on Facebook and Twitter, who consider yourselves libertarians but still somehow try to nurture the belief that you're somehow going to change the Republican Party. It's not going to happen. The Republican Party is bought and paid for by campaign donors, by the military-industrial complex. The media is involved, and clearly the Fox News, as the main broadcast entity that seems to favor the Republican Party and conservatism, has now done away with the libertarian wing of the party by excluding Rand Paul from the debate. So what I respectfully suggest to all of you is leave the Republican Party. You're not going to win. You may have little victories here and there. You may get to listen to Rand Paul in a debate. They did the same thing to his father. Ron Paul was excluded effectively as well, even though he was polling well and came in second in Iowa and did well in New Hampshire. You're not going to win. So if you believe in liberty, I believe you need to step out. You need to support libertarian candidates. You need to become members of the Libertarian Party. Make us a strong party. Your voice will be heard, and together we can work to overturn this two-party duopoly that we're suffering from in the United States. The introduction of any third party is a good thing, but those of you who believe in liberty know that you're not being heard by the majority of the Republican Party, and you're certainly being ignored and excluded by the media. So I invite you to join the Libertarian Party. I invite you to support my campaign for United States Senate. And no matter where you are, support your local and state and national Libertarian Party candidates, because they are the ones who are unhindered by party loyalty, who are unbought by campaign donors, whose main principle is one of liberty and freedom for you and for me, even for the liberals, even for the socialists. It doesn't matter who. It's freedom and liberty for everybody. So I encourage you, if you believe in that, if you believe that everyone should be allowed to conduct their life as they choose, as long as they're not interfering with somebody else's right to do the same, support the Libertarian Party and libertarian candidates. Thanks, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.